Brian, Atlanta Hot Tub Center and Tub Talk 101, and today we are going to do a video on measuring your space for a hot tub. Now, last week, right, we did measuring your space for a hot tub kind of behind our warehouse, right, just to kind of give you an idea of how to do it. Today, we're at a customer's house and we are going to measure their space for a hot tub. And I think it's important for you to see this step because we do this a little bit differently. And I just think it may really help you if you have a really tight spot that you're trying to put a hot tub in. And as you can see, this patio is pretty tight. All right, we've moved a couple of things, and you'll see at the end of the video, you'll see us kind of move these things back around the actual hot tub, right? You'll see that. So that way we make sure we're fitting everything on their patio, including the hot tub. So I've already kind of started the process, guys. The first thing I did is I put the measurements of the hot tub right here. I'm using chalk and a chalk box, chalk line, and you'll see why I'm using these two things. But 82 by 69, we are measuring for a Sundance Capri. I say it again, a Sundance Capri. And the customer wants the tub all the way to the edge of this concrete and squared off to the edge of this concrete. Now, it's important to understand that the skirting of a Sundance hot tub is going to sit over about an inch or an inch and a half from the actual base. So what I didn't want to do here is have the base hanging over into the yard. So I did come in about an inch or so that way that the skirting will kind of line up with the edges of the concrete. I went ahead and did the first measurement, guys, and what I did was I just said, hey, we want the first corner to be right here, right? And we're gonna measure off of this first corner for our first two measurements. I'm gonna say that again, we're gonna measure off this first corner for our first two measurements because we wanna make sure when we're done, we have the correct measurements, okay? Now, I know what you're saying, hey, it's really hard to get the measuring tape perfectly straight. Guys, don't have to be perfect, right? We're gonna get really close, but it's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be good enough to know whether or not it's going to fit here. All right, so the first thing I did was I measured my tape to this corner, because that's a corner of the hot tub, and I came down, you know, to you know, the let me get it set here, hold on here. Yeah, okay, good. And then I came down to the 82 inches, right? And that's my second corner, okay? Now, I'm gonna come off of the 82 inches and now I'm gonna go the other way off of my first corner. And I can see here that I gotta go 69. So I'm gonna go from my corner and I'm gonna lay this tape out again, obviously getting past 69. Again, you don't have to be perfect here, guys. You're just getting as close as possible. So 69, we're gonna put a mark here on 69. And now this is gonna become a corner of the hot tub. All right, now, from here, I am going to measure off of here to my final 82. I'm gonna come down here to this corner like so. Try to get the tape as straight as I can. I think that that's pretty good there. And I'm gonna put a mark at 82. This is gonna be my final corner. All right, so now we have what we consider to be each corner of the hot tub. We have all four corners of the hot tub, right? Corner here, corner there, corner there, corner there. We know the hot tub measures 82, 69, okay? Now, I'm gonna take my chalk box, okay? hold this string up, and I'm gonna get a line, which is a little bit hard to see, but it's there. You're gonna have to get close to kind of see it. Okay. Now, if you had an additional person, guys, here, if you had an additional person here, you could hold each side of that chalk line. You could really pick it up, and you would be able to get a little bit more force, and it would hit the concrete a little harder, and you'd get a darker chalk line. But again, this video is to kind of show you how we would do it at a customer's house. The customer will be able to come out and see this chalk line, but it's gonna be harder to see it on the video, right? Okay. Again, if you come up this way, you can see the chalk line. It's kind of hard to see on the camera. Again, if you had another person, you could really hit that a little bit harder. Okay. Again, you can see it, it's very faint. And then finally, the last one. Okay. All right. So now we have our hot tub, okay? Now here's the thing. The other thing you need to consider is the cover lift. So this is gonna have a cover lift on it, and we're actually gonna make this the front of the tub. So I'm gonna mark this for the customer as front or motor compartment or whatever you want to call it, but that's the front of the tub. Okay, so off of this back side we're going to need an additional 14 inches for the cover lift, which we're going to have that right here, because the cover lift is going to come out over the grass, so when they're using the hot tub, the cover lift will be off, but when they're not using it, the cover lift will be on, so it's really not going to matter. Now if, for example, if you were going to have the cover lift come up on this side, right, then you would want to measure another 14 inches here and another 14 inches here and do another chalk line here, right? Because if the cover lift was coming off this side, right, and you did need 14 inches on that side, you would want to know that because something could be in the way, right? So it's important to get with your dealer, right, and find out exactly what cover lift he's offering you. And there's some different options for cover lifts too. So there are some that are lower profile, right, and require less space. So it's important to make sure you know what cover lift you're going to get. But at this point, I know, right, at this point, I know where the hot tub's gonna be, right? So now may be asking, you may want to come a little bit closer, but you may be asking now what it is that I'm doing, guys. I'm trying to see if I can fit, if the customer can fit all the things that he originally had on this back patio. I want to see if he can actually still fit those things on his back patio. So I moved the grill over here, right? Because we know the hot tub stops here, right? So I got the grill over here. He had this piece here. And to me, what it looks like is he's gonna have to make a little bit of a decision on whether he wants to keep that storage container, which I already know he doesn't care that much about the storage container, so at the end of the day, it's no big deal. We already kind of had that conversation. Obviously, he wants the grill to fit here, and the grill fits fine. I think this is a great spot for a hot tub. You can back this up. Get rid of this, but at the end of the day, right, it all fits on here. Again, it's a little bit tight, but it's not terrible, and hopefully we'll end up closing a deal on this guy. This is Brian at Atlanta Hot Tub Center and how to measure your space for a hot tub at a customer's house. Thank you.